Okay, this video is for Net Geo Gates, who's got questions from old timers about their training routine. The one thing I plan on doing for the rest of my life, every day for 3 minutes, as well as something I wish I knew a long time ago, was using this. This is an O2 trainer from Bas Rutten. It's completely changed in just one day. It's completely changed my life with the simple breathing exercise. I'm sore from breathing with this apparatus, which is just a crazy thought, right? You breathe correctly and you're going to improve your sleep, your focus. I felt less sore in my whole body just by using this thing. So check that out, the O2 trainer. Number two thing I wish I knew years ago, RMT rope flow. That's by David Weck. Google search RMT rope flow or alternating underhand sneak. David Weck says if you could only learn one jump rope flow pattern, it would be the alternating underhand sneak. The third thing that I do every single day, skills kick trainer. It's just a ball and a rope, but it's actually about timing, rhythm, coordination, balance. I bring this with me almost everywhere I go, as well as the RMT rope. If I'm not using one, then I'm using the other. The one book that's super influential, Atomic Habits, talks about exactly what you are asking about, which is routines, right? So if we want to go into things that I personally do every single day, it's rope flow, like I said, sense ball or skills kick trainer, balance. So I use three different balance tools every day. One is Blackboard. If you search Blackboard training, you'll find it. It's expensive, but it's effective. I use Soul Steps by David Weck, who I mentioned before, who's got the rope flow, and he also invented the Bosu ball, right? Bosu ball, most gyms have this, so I don't need it because everywhere you go, you'll usually find one. And the third is Slack Block by Jim. I think it's Jim Klopman. So for balance, you could check any of those three things out. Start with the cheapest one, which is probably, you probably get the Soul Steps because you could also do deadlifts with them, and deadlifts, a certain type of style deadlift, help with running faster. So right, the Slack block or the Blackboard training, you can't do deadlifts with those. So the Soul Steps, those are tri-purpose, dual purpose. So I would invest in that. If you're not doing any balance work, Soul Steps is the way to go. Inversion, right, hanging by your feet or your hands, or having a reverse that you have access to, a reverse hyper machine. This thing is $1,200, but call around to see any gyms. If you have access to one of these, it'll I'm gonna do this. I plan on doing it every single day for the rest of my life, right? Tendons and ligaments get poor blood flow. You need high repetitions, right? Low tension, high reps to train them. This is the Rogue RHZ is also going to pump blood into your abs and decompress your lower back as well as your neck, right? It's traction all the way from your fingertips down through your lower spine. So if you want to get stronger, run faster, jump higher, Rogue RHZ, that's another way to go. The Torture Twist, this is from Underground Secrets of Running Faster by Barry Ross. If you want to run faster, if you want to jump higher, right, the Torture Twist, it's one exercise, super simple, right? Just Google it. You'll find lots of demos, Torture Twist. I've added this into my daily routine. Do it every day, just test it. And right, the first time you test it, the day after, you'll be sore than any ab circuit or routine you've ever done. So give it a try. It's a good one. That's also from Barry Ross's Underground Secrets to Running Faster. Another thing I do every day, weighted ball juggling, right? If you search 2.2 kilogram ball on Amazon, you'll find, I forget the brand, but you'll find it. This is going to improve, right? If you improve your juggling, everything in your life improves. If you're a soccer player, right? Goal scoring, passing, shooting, it's all the same thing. Juggling will improve passing and shooting, right? So if you could only practice shooting or passing or juggling, you practice juggling because you're working balance, rhythm, timing, all at the same time. and it's just it's an endurance exercise. It's a core exercise. If you do it barefoot, that's even better. So that's for routines. Another question was for recovery. What do you do? The RHZ, right? The Rogue Reverse Hyper Machine. I personally bought 2 of them already, right? That's close to $3,000 on this one machine that I don't even own, right? So I've donated to one university. The other one is with a close friend of mine, father, who had back pain. So I bought that. So, right, this is not a joke. The Rogue Reverse Hyper is key if you want to, take your training to the next level. Another question was about training people who I follow personally. The people who most changed my life: David Weck, Ido Portal, especially his warm-up. If you search Squat Clinic and Squat Clinic 2.0, those will completely, if you just feel tight, just doing his Squat Clinic 2.0, those are game changers. Barry Ross, right? One more time, Amazon, right? If you're a soccer player, you want to run faster, jump higher, and you don't want to spend a lot of time doing this training, Underground Secrets for running faster. That's Barry Ross. Louis Simmons, right? He invented the Rogue Reverse Hyper Machine after he broke his back twice. The second time he broke it, he came up with this machine, right? So this machine, I drove to Ohio. I drove 16 hours, close to 16 hours from Rhode Island to New Jersey, then to Ohio, just to train at Westside Barbell with him, right? He died within the past year, and he's probably one of the best strength trainers of all time. So, right, the RHZ, that is not a joke. Jim Klopman, balance. All he does is talk about balance. He invented the slack block. So, right, if you read Balance is Power by Jim Klopman, that'll change your life, right? It's a short read, less than 10 minutes, and it just talks about how balance will improve brain function and a whole bunch of other stuff. And the last person who I follow intimately, Peter Attia, who's a doctor and also just a badass, just a workaholic, but he's gone deeper into being more thoughtful with his training and longevity, right? He talks about longevity. So, right, he's talking about what he wants to do, what things he wants to do when he's 100 years old, right? Play with his grandkids, things like that. So in terms of supplements or anything, I always cross-reference. I'll put in Peter Attia creatine or Peter Attia electrolytes, and he's a perfect person who you could just have sensible, reasonable advice. He doesn't really try to sell any supplements, but the thing he does recommend is Element, right? That's an electrolyte supplement with 0 sugar. It's got sodium, magnesium, potassium. I use that almost every day when I wake up. And the one thing that I left out for routines is within the first 10 minutes, getting hydration, sunlight, movement. Besides that, that's a lot of info. So you could start with any one of those and completely change your life. So that's everything that I wish I knew.